The Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Hello and welcome to the Chaser Report. It's Charles Firth and Dom Knight. Our guest today is Fred Schebesta. He's the co-founder of Finder.com, the website where you go to find your credit card comparisons, tips on crypto, all kinds of things. And lots of things to talk about, Fred. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm in the silo here. This is the Bat Cave.
Yeah, the Chaser Bunker.
Yeah, it's
glamorous .com office that we have. And we're desperate to get your business tips on how to make a successful business out of the Chaser, because a couple of weeks ago I saw you giving a speech and you talked about how important it was in business to be a chaos monkey. And I thought, why don't we get Fred to see what a genuinely chaotic internet business, not like your successful one, one that's been around for how many years is it now?
We've been around for
23 years.
Yeah.
And yet is completely chaotic and disastrous. By the way, Fred, if you would like an inflatable avocado for your pool,
I appreciate that.
That's what we're selling this summer. That's our latest attempt to make
actually,
profitable.
can we get Finder.com to review that avocado and give it like? I mean, can we just?
That'd be nice. You should come over to my house, swim in the pool.
Yes,
on the avocados.
Shoot a little bit of a promo video.
Yeah, like a promo video.
Yes, that's it.
When Fred says come over to my house, we're talking about the crypto castle.
Oh.
Dua Lipa was there this week.
What?
I honestly think you'd sell avocado. If Fred let you do that, you'd actually sell the avocado.
I'm trying to boot up your business as much as I possibly can. Charles,
Okay, done.
We're doing a genuinely valuable offer and very, very kind. Okay, but Fred, let's start with what you've been up to this week, because you went to regional New South Wales to give away a laptop. Why on earth?
When I was a kid, my mum, I was about 16 years old, she went out and bought me a computer, and this is in the early 90s, and buying a computer back then was it was a significant investment of money.
Yeah.
Multiple thousands of dollars to buy this white box that, had one button. That's all it did.
Had one button. That was a bit of a rip-off.
Yeah.
You probably should.
You should have got a keyboard, Fred.
Should have got a keyboard.
I didn't get a keyboard, actually. I had a keyboard, but anyway,
from the sticks.
Yeah.
I could only afford one key.
One key, one screen. Light on, light off.
And you made it the queue, hopeless. Yeah.
And that changed my life because I learned how to build websites on that computer. Taught myself.
Can I ask what type of computer it was?
It was just a PC, like hobbled together with the whole. How you can just put all the bits together.
But was it like how early are we talking? How
it was a 486. Oh no, it was a Pentium. It was a Pentium. It was a
Pentium.
Charles used to.
Yeah, because I used to build.
He used to build computers at school. Yes, he used to sell them as CF4PM computers.
It's true.
And he made a bit of money out of it, actually. Yeah.
But so you had a Pentium. What did you program in? Just out of interest.
I was just writing. Initially, I wrote HTML, and then I wrote ASP, and then I wrote PHP.
Lovely.
And Finder's actually built on WordPress, so it runs on PHP.
This will probably be cut out of the actual podcast, but whatever happened to ASP? Because I loved ASP.
ASP was so good.
I built the Chaser website, the first iteration of the Chaser website, which actually functioned for about 4 or 5 years.
It was
all
surprisingly
built in ASP.
good. He just programmed the whole thing himself.
Yeah, and it was before content management systems existed.
Yes.
And so when Crikey started, they were all boasting, "Oh, we've got HTML, like come and see our hot shit." And I showed them what we were doing because I just came up with a few principles to make it, because it was all about speed load time. So you didn't put all the content into the database. You'd put it into text files and reference use the SQL.
Fred's nodding as I speak in this incomprehensible language.
Use those queries to just reference sort of files and stuff like that. Like I designed it quite light, and they were going, "Oh, we should buy that." Anyway. So
Charles,
I'm quite proud of.
You should
the
be.
first.
That was the OG stuff.
This is one of many unsuccessful,
clever but
unsuccessful businesses.
I should have ditched the rest of the thing and concentrated on a CMS. I fucking built one of the first.
You could have sold it to Finder.com.
You're like Atlassian before there was Atlassian.
Yes, exactly. And I'll just say one more thing, which is when the Olympics came along in 2000, right? So we had the Chaser website, and we went, why don't we copy and paste the HTML design of
the Olympics website.
The official Olympics website. And I plugged it into the back end of of the Chaser thing and made it work so that the content management system worked with this skin.
It looked exactly the same.
CSS and stuff like that. This was like
OG.
It was OG.
HTML.
This is all going to be cut out of the podcast.
Charles. So Charles has made many bad life decisions. The first one was not using his genuine IT talent to start a successful business. But Fred, you've got this scheme to unleash future Charleses by giving them laptops in regional Australia.
Yeah, so I went out and met and gave a guy messaged me on TikTok and he said, I talked about a laptop and he said, and I told a story about my mum giving me a computer and he said, can I get one? And I wrote back and I replied and I said, sure, like, where are you? And, he told me, then we had some direct messages and then I got on a plane yesterday and flew out to regional New South Wales and I gave him a laptop.
I mean, you wouldn't think that would normally work.
Well, offering gift to 13-year-old boys through direct messages on TikTok. No, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
But this is a huge problem, right? There's a lot of kids out there who just don't have access to this stuff, basically.
It's actually a major issue, digital inclusion, like especially during COVID. Like you were basically excluded if you didn't have a computer. Like and I'm really passionate about that because a computer changed my life. And I know a lot of other people, the computers have changed their life and brought them the wealth and what they've got. And so I'm calling upon others to come and join me and help, give, like I'm talking about, these are refurbished computers. They're the ones that still work, but you just, they're all these great things have been built on them. And now you've got that spare.
Yeah, you've upgraded. It's just sitting in a drawer. You don't know what to do with it. Can't be bothered eBaying it. Exactly. There must be so many of them out there in people's drawers.
Yeah, and I'm really passionate about that and I really want to help people. And then the next part is obviously getting data. So if there is someone out there listening who can help with data as well, that's another key thing.
What do you mean data?
So like not everyone has internet, like broadband in their house.
Oh, right.
Most people don't.
Yes.
And they use their phone to tether. Obviously that costs a lot and it's not reliable. And so trying to figure out ways to get them more reliable data and better is just another thing I'm really passionate about.
Okay, so trying to provide kind of 4G connections. But Charles, do you remember we had Tony Burke on during the lockdown and he was talking about Western Sydney, southwestern Sydney and saying that you had entire families, multi-generational families, 10 people living together where there's one computer for all of them. And so just the kids couldn't go to school because they couldn't spend the whole day. I mean, it was just assumed that everyone would have a laptop and Zoom and they could just do Zoom schooling. But they couldn't in many houses. It just wasn't a thing. They just didn't have laptops.
I mean, even at my son's school, they went, you can come and pick up a laptop if you need to, right? But it was a sort of shame-based system, right? It was terrible that was the system. You have to fess up to being poor or whatever. But one of my son's friends went and got one, and it just didn't work. Like, it was just a piece of shit. Anyway, all right.
It's tough. And I think if you don't have that access, there are so many things. And like he was trying to build a little business. He was trying to sell stuff, and he had a very intense story. Like I don't know how much I should share. It really
I know you don't want to identify him. He's requested that, but it sounds as though he's been through some tough stuff. And this is going to be life changing for him.
And so, are you organising people to do this, or is this a sort of just
working with Good 360? It's a charity, and I don't think people know about this charity that much. So I just thought, like, what can I do? Well, I thought I could bring some attention to it, and I can start going out and helping people directly. And I'm also trying to talk to tech founders, tech companies that have got lots of laptops, even non-tech companies. Bring us your laptops, we'll refurbish them and get them out to people who need them.
Well, Twitter in Australia's just sacked all their staff, so I'm sure
they have a lot of laptops.
A couple of hundred just lying.
We need a couple of those.
Yeah.
Call them up.
And you're going to try to get to a million of these laptops.
That's the goal.
And then get 10 mil to refurbish by the end of 2025. So a lot to do. Do we have any spare laptops lying around, Charles?
Just trying to think.
I've got one at home.
Okay, well, you should give one then.
Yeah, all right. What do I do if I've got a laptop and I'm listening? I'm thinking, okay, let's give this to someone who deserves it.
Well, we've got a site. Obviously, we've got a page on Finder as well that can step you through the steps. It needs to go through refurbishment, like getting get all the.
Because I've got one that I poured a beer on, and it's never worked particularly well since
How
then.
dodgy a laptop are you taking?
It turns on, but the keys.
It's a little messy, like it's a little drunk.
At least one key works though, which is where you got your start.
Yeah.
So Like, is that what you want?
control key.
Yeah, the delete key. Yeah.
Delete.
It's very useful for me. But no, but like, is that like, are you wanting, or they have to be perfectly working to?
Like as you know, we obviously can try and fix up what we can, but we're just trying to, you know, the better they are, the better they are for people. But
It's
I
not
think
really.
The less
I think-
beer that's got to be wiped out of them, probably.
Well, I think also it's a really good incentive for companies. So if someone, you know, you give people obviously laptops to work, but if you have this incentive, then I think that people will take care of their laptops because they know where that laptop's going afterwards. And in some small way, I think that would, you know, potentially save some money for companies.
And crucially, you and the team, you're refurbishing them, which means wiping off all the porn, giving them completely fresh and all new. So if you want to do this, it's finder.com.au/laptop-launchpad, or I'm sure you can just search for Finder or Fred Schebesta and laptop and figure out how to do it. Good 360 Australia is the charity that's doing this. Well, look, let's hope you get to 1 million in a few years' time. That'd be amazing.
That'd be incredible.
I'm excited. It takes a lot of time to do these things, but I think, you know, let's do it.
I'm still trying to think of the data angle though. Like, how do you then get the data?
Well, you got to go to a telco.
You
Are there
gotta
any
go- yeah.
I know who you should go to.
Yes.
I know a telco.
Yes.
Which really needs to rehabilitate its image.
Yes.
The only problem is they'll definitely release all the details of these kids
Yeah.
online. But surely Optus,
Optus.
wants any chance they can
Optus.
get
Well,
to refurbish their image.
They gave away all their personal data. Maybe they can give away some data,
And
you know,
laptops.
some actual just bandwidth as well.
We put the call out. Why not?
Why not?
We'll see. I'm happy to help, and you know, we need more help.
If it's in the regions, Vodafone's another good thing because they could offer all the data that they wanted, but it doesn't work in the regions.
It'd be very cost
So it would be a very cost-effective donation for them.
Anyway, maybe we need to workshop that one a little bit more. All right, so that's the bit where we've actually done genuine good
Okay,
in
great.
the podcast. On to our problems, Charles, because
Yes.
Fred actually, you know, knows how to set up a tech business that works. You've set up many in your time.
Yeah.
And they've
None of which work.
well, not financially, but they've got interest. They've
yeah.
created chaos.
Yes.
But apparently to have a sustainable business, you've got to actually make more money through the door
Yes.
than you spend. And
Which is
that's
something-
never been a forte of ours.
Yeah, well, I only realised it the other day. So I was sitting down doing the accounts, and somebody pointed out that, and I had never known that.
That's tough. They're very short life cycle businesses.
Well, how are we
come and
still?
go.
How are we
No, no,
still?
no, if you-
How
if
do
you-
we still exist?
If you keep
after all these
growing,
years?
if you keep growing, then it's the Elon Musk trick. You
Isn't
just
that a
keep
pyramid
growing.
scheme? If you just keep using the new subscribers.
Shut
to-
up.
Actually, I think our
My lawyer
newspaper,
says I can't answer that question.
our newspaper that we started technically was a pyramid scheme because we used the money from the new subscribers to print the editions.
Shut up.
Anyway, we
On
finished
advice
that
of
now.
counsel.
That's right.
I mean, it just goes to show how terrible we are at business. That the first thing we did was start a newspaper, a print newspaper, and we all knew that
Yeah.
the internet was coming and that
Yeah.
it was all, and we joked about it.
Yes.
but we did it anyway.
But we also, like, in 2000, our website was the 7th highest trafficked comedy website in the world.
During the
right?
Olympics,
During
yeah.
the Olympics, right? And we didn't go, oh, let's pivot to the internet. We went, let's get back to the newspaper. That was a fun 2 weeks. We're just fuckwits. Right? But I actually think, I have a theory about the Chaser ride, which is, you know how you believe in disruption and chaos and everything like that? I think the most disruptive thing that could happen to the Chaser is bringing in somebody who's really straight-laced and does things properly. Like, that would be genuine
That would
disruption.
be chaos for us.
You
If
know what
someone
I mean?
came in and said,
Yeah.
you're supposed to make money and actually
Yeah.
try and have a viable business.
Yes.
We wouldn't know what to do.
No.
That'd be like a stunt on us.
So I want to pitch to you, Fred, a couple of the products that are causing me a bit of problem.
Okay.
The first
Avocados,
one-
inflatable avocados.
yeah, you saw that.
They're
ad.
nice.
To be clear, these are big. These are about as tall as
Yeah.
Fred, these
So the
avocados.
pitch is, it's not bad. The pitch, should I go and get it? I'll just,
Yeah, they're pretty
Going-
nice.
yeah, I mean, Charles tends to have these ideas for
Demonstration.
businesses, and
Demonstration.
he orders them in bulk from China. And by the time they arrive, Fred, and this is a supply chain issue, by the time they arrive, they're
so
not.
the point is that, okay,
Tell me about this avocado.
so, well, exactly. So, just like, this is the story, right? What do people who don't have a house like?
So what do millennials spend? What do millennials
Okay,
spend
so
their
you don't
money
have a
on?
house, you like avocados.
Yeah, you buy a smashed avocado.
And that's the whole reason they can't afford a house is because they buy too many avocados.
Yep,
right?
yep.
So, first of all, they like avocados. Like, this is an avocado. They like avocado. What's the logic beyond this?
The problem. Well, there's several problems
you know-
which we've identified. The first is that it's a smashed avocado, and that's an intact avocado.
Yeah, okay, no. But so the point is, this is the perfect gift for non-homeowners, right? Like
To rub it in.
And because the whole idea is when you're doing a Christmas piece of merch, it's got to be distinctive, it's got to have an angle, and also crucially, you're wanting the rich people to buy it. You're wanting, old biddies who are 65 years old to give to their millennial children something. Oh, I don't know what they want. And the problem is people don't own houses anymore, so you can't give them a vase or something like that because they don't have a house to put it in, right? But what they do know is, my son really likes smashed avocado on a Saturday. Boom. Oh, look, here's a pool toy that they'll enjoy because they like avocado.
And the problem is, Fred, we were talking to Charles about this. Craig and I had a whole podcast. The ball comes
the
out.
Pip
The
is
pip
a
comes out.
ball.
And Charles hadn't realised, because he didn't run it past us. He just ordered these things.
Yeah,
he didn't realise,
quite
Fred,
a lot of them. Yeah.
He didn't realise that one of the issues with millennials, not only do they not own homes, but the houses that they can afford don't have pools.
Yeah.
So what can we do to pivot this product? What are your thoughts? All right, the business brain's ticking over here. What's the opportunity?
We're trying to save money. So we need to reduce our rents.
Yes.
So we're going to bunk together, buy a couple of avocados, and have a sleepover party.
Right, and this is the bed.
Yeah, that's the bed.
That would be a very uncomfortable. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, well,
let's sell them as inflatable beds. You're right.
Well, now not only are we buying avocados, we're using them to save money.
Yes, this saves you money.
You could sleep in the park
saving
under
money.
that thing.
Can I put on the website saves you money? Finder.com, like that be the quote from Finder.com.
Saves you money.
Yeah.
And then also when you need a gift,
Yes.
and you're not sure what to give someone,
Yes.
you're long a gift. You're good. You're already done.
Because you've already bought
already
an
got one.
avocado.
Already bought one, avocado.
Yes, and you don't want it,
And
so
everyone will
you
talk
want to
about
re-gift it.
It's also a fabulous hat.
It is the perfect.
It is it's a very good hat, actually.
Okay.
Particularly if you have an enormous
It's
head.
like a hat thong.
None of the medical advice contained in the Chaser Report should legally be considered medical advice. The Chaser Report.
Just to be clear, Fred's written a book about how to set up a successful business, right? So this is this is the whole thing. You've got what's your book called?
It's called Go Live.
Go Live, right?
Right,
So
okay.
we've done that. We've done the going live.
I feel like
bit.
I should probably read that book.
It's the going live with an offer that is actually profitable. That's I guess the subtext of the book.
And just to be clear, just for our listeners, chasershop.com.
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 Chasershop.com for the saving money avocado.
Yeah.
But then the other one is a bit more of a disaster. It's more of a business problem than a product problem at the moment because it hasn't arrived from China. So what we did is we decided that Qantas always loses your bag, right? So if you're flying Qantas, you shouldn't check your baggage in. Or if you do, you're going to lose it anyway, right? So we got printed up a whole lot of backpacks with Qantas, the Qantas logo on it, like our ARSE. And then with a little sign saying the airline lost all my other bags, like all my checked-in bags or something. And I think that's because there's a lot of anger towards Qantas. You can, this holidays, buy a Qantas travel bag and you're flying with the thing. The only problem is they just have not arrived from China.
Is that because you got Qantas to deliver them?
It's the most ironic piece of merch I've ever done. They've got lost.
What do you do?
These are on the shop, chasershop.com, but
they're not on the Chaser Shop.
they're not.
That one,
they've not arrived.
Yes, because never put on.
Can't take a photo of them.
I did that a few years ago with toilet paper. We imported some toilet paper during the pandemic, right from China,
which was a hot product back then.
It was a hot product, yes. Except by the time it arrived from China, it was no longer a hot product. But it was custom printed, with Chaser headlines and
I like that.
And it was good, but we put it on sale and then it just never turned up from China. Like it took months, and so we had lots of angry, presumably people who were needing toilet paper, just waiting for this toilet paper.
Yeah, so there's a few issues with our business planning. I think my favourite, though, just to give Fred the full picture, is the mugs.
Oh, the mugs.
Because
the mugs.
Every company needs mugs. So we've got these nice Chaser mugs here that we've got. I imagine you make, Fines.com mugs for the office and all that kind of stuff.
We put our values on them.
Yeah, exactly. You put your value, because that's one issue. They have values at Fred's company. That's which
Oh, that's not going to
So Charles managed to somehow order mugs from overseas and ship them to customers, and they're actually very popular. What was on the mugs?
Yeah, I got them printed locally. I got them printed locally. They were
Back in Black budget mugs.
Remember when Josh Frydenberg announced that the budget was back in black next year, right? And then the pandemic happened, and so it never happened, right?
We were more in red than we'd ever been.
And so we sold, and the Liberal Party had immediately sold tons of coffee mugs which said "back in black" to all their supporters, right? And so we sold identical mugs which were that, but with the black crossed out and instead a huge fucking deficit as the thing. They were very popular.
Very
right?
popular.
They looked great. Yeah. However,
whenever they ship to a customer, they arrived broken. It turns out customers who buy mugs don't like them arriving in more than one piece.
Yes, huge business. But I paid extra. Like I paid the dispatcher extra to wrap them in bubble wrap. But that was the thing. I obviously didn't say the instructions careful enough. So the bubble wrap was around the box rather than around the mug.
Yeah.
So it just sort of created this more bouncy version of a breaking.
It's like a puzzle. It's a
Yeah,
puzzle.
it's a puzzle. You should have marketed it as a jigsaw.
That's
It's
right.
See, he's
Fuck,
lateral.
where were you, Fred?
Oh.
I needed that. That was a huge money. That cost us so much money.
I guess the question I have is, in Silicon Valley, in the tech world, at what point do you say, you know what, just dissolve the company? It's not going to. Are we at this point here?
Well, I think you got a lot of attention. Like, there are obviously people who want your products.
Yes.
And you got a good subscriber list, and I think that's really important. But
Yes.
I think maybe we just got to find the one product and focus a little bit.
Ooh, okay. Well,
Maybe the avocados are pretty good.
The avocado is good. The one product that we actually do have that sells every year is the Chaser Annual, available
book.
at chasershop.com. But it's a book. There's a lot of effort. See, this is why we want to go into merch, right? Because there's a lot of effort in a book. You got to write the book. Yeah. We don't want to have to write a book every year. Like, we want to, we do, but, ideally, you want merch where you have, half a brain thought and then suddenly you make $50,000.
What about if you only have a certain number of them and you sign them with all the people on the podcast?
Exclusivity.
Well, actually, no, we are doing that with this. If you want to buy a signed version of the avocado, it's $10 off.
Because the signature washes off in the pool.
Presumably. I've had a few requests to sign them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, it really
100%.
is. Fred, to the extent to which we've built a business which it's got a quite good name, people know about the Chaser.
Yeah.
The problem is that they don't want to give it money and that they trust it. So advertisers, for instance, are terrified of us.
Very, very well renowned. We're
Yeah.
sort of known as the fucking Chaser.
Yeah, the
mainly.
terrible Chaser that you don't want to be involved with. But we do have a reputation. And what do you do when you have a reputation, but that no one wants to give you money or be associated with your product?
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
There are lots of companies people don't like, and then they'll.
Would
Qantas should become a bank. They become a bank.
Well, yeah. But I guess normally people there are people who have it's not so much don't like, because if there's someone who doesn't like you, there's someone who does love you as well.
Yes.
There are people who love you as well, because you can't at all be one way. So normally you get into pills. Sell vitamins and
I actually tried that a few years ago. We did a range of Swiss vitamins, like knockoff Swiss vitamins. There was Gullibility Guard we sold, and we sold which you really need if you're buying Swiss vitamins, right? And we sold
water. What about water?
We sold one. I'll get to water in a second. I have done water in the past.
Wow. You guys have got your product development's incredible.
So
a lot of ideas.
The problem. Actually, I'll tell you the problem with the water. I'll tell you the other Swiss vitamin that we loved, which we sold a lot of, was helps you choose between all the fucking vitamins. Vitamin, yeah. And anyway, but the water story is great because it was bottled locally up in sort of Gosford. There's Pete's Ridge has a big sort of plant, the spring there that does a lot of off-label water, but for some reason I think we were just buying the sort of cheap end of that sort of.
Yeah, not from the spring, but from the Pete's Ridge tap.
From the tap. No, it's spring water. No, we knew it was spring water because the problem was every sort of 10th batch would come in really muddy. Right, so it'd be bottled water, but it would have mud in it, and you'd have to make sure. So, and when you're dispatching quantities of water, what you don't want is to dispatch a batch of of muddy water because everyone goes, this is muddy water. and so there was a huge logistical problem, which is you had to go through, or you had to employ someone to go through and check that you weren't sending out muddy water.
So this has actually given me an idea for a business. What you need is a website that actually independently reviews products and works out which are good and which are bad. And for instance, let's call it Finder.com. And the people would actually review the Chaser's products and warn consumers that they're incredibly
I think that's a terrible idea.
not to buy them. Is that something we could set up?
Nah.
So it's an idea.
Yeah.
Someone should do that. What's the most successful product?
The most successful product we have ever made was a couple of years ago. We made beach tea. Do you remember Scott Morrison, right at the height of the bushfires, went off to Hawaii for a holiday for 2 weeks, and then came back and said, well, I don't hold a hose anyway, whatever. There's a lot of anger about that. And so we sold that the summer after, we sold beach towels with a photo of a semi-naked Scott Morrison lying on a beach in Hawaii, and it just said, greetings from Hawaii, right? And it was perfect because beach towels, very cheap to get. I mean, no, high-quality beach towels. They were very expensive to make in China. Shipped them over. They're light. We sent them out, and people. They were good beach towels.
They're actually very good beach towels.
Lovely, and we sold a fucking shit ton, right? And that's why I did the avocado, because I thought,
pools.
You know, in the lead up to Christmas, you want to sell something outdoorsy, something related to swimming, right? Except this fucking year, it's the fucking La Nina. It rains every day. No one's going to be able to use the.
That's why it's a hat. It's a
hat,
multi-purpose
and an
it's a
umbrella.
hat.
Yeah.
That's a very good
umbrella.
idea. There you go.
Yeah.
So beach towels is what we should probably
Beach towel. So
pivot back to.
you seem to be. You got the beach vibe. You got the pool.
Yeah.
Now you need to make a collection set.
right.
Yeah?
Yes,
and then
a
you got
gift
you
pack.
got the Christmas bundle.
Yes, Christmas bundle. I like that. Okay.
Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Yes. Like 15th of January Day, which is when the bags will arrive.
Boxing Day.
What about That's right, exactly?
Who are you selling these products to? Who's interested?
I don't know.
Isn't that the great mystery?
Yeah. No, well, I think confused people. I think like the Chaser has an enormous reach of very intelligent listeners to its podcast. Like I think they're the sort of highbrow end of the market. But we got 270,000 followers on Twitter. We got like our Facebook reach is like 60 million a month.
Yeah, I
Right,
think what
so
it
we've
is,
got-
it's people who
it's
used
a
to like our
scattergun.
TV shows and
Yes.
now pity what we've become. I think that's the market for the Chaser.
So I think it's a combination of old people who remember us from when we were successful, and then young up and coming people who I don't know why they
want awesome comedy.
who just want awesome comedy
And we're
they're
all that there is in the
attracted-
Australian market.
Yeah,
Thank God
'cause-
for that.
Yeah, because we just kill it. We're their source of news.
I reckon each product needs to be like a drop. You only have a limited number.
Oh, like Yeezy.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's the Chaser drop. It's coming out. So this is the avocado one.
The drop,
edition.
the avocado drop.
Yeah, it's the avocado
Order
drop.
fewer and charge more.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So there's only
And it's signed
Scarcity.
and
I
it's got a
think
little it's got a little plaque.
Yes, I'm going to tell them
They're
that-
going to come next year
We've-
with the plaques. Like you can order the tin now,
Yeah.
but they're coming.
That's right.
They're coming next year.
All right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So
High end.
It's a drop.
So
Chaser drop.
yes. So actually, there's only 10 of these avocados that we ever got printed, listeners. So all those previous anecdotes.
As
about,
soon as we sell out 10, magically there's another 10. All right.
Okay, that's good. I like
Final
that
question,
scarcity.
Fred. Should we launch our own cryptocurrency?
Oh my goodness.
Or NFTs? I mean,
Yeah.
Charles, I explained, was the least successful Bitcoin investor.
Can I tell you
in
what
Australian
happened?
history.
What happened?
You might know what to do about this.
Listeners will know this story, but I'm going to tell you this story anyway, Fred, which is back in 2012, 2013, I had an advertising company and a TV show. And so we had about 30 or 40 computers in our advertising company office. And every night we networked them up and mined Bitcoin, right?
Wow.
Because back then it was like, I think it was about $40 or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
100%.
And we just thought it was funny. You'd get a few Bitcoin each day overnight.
Yeah.
And just accumulate it. And 2015, the company like we wound up all those companies. I ended up with all the
It
hard
went
drives.
not live, basically.
Yeah, it went not like we got axed. So I've got like hundreds of hard drives in my garage. Somewhere on those hard drives would be, I don't know, but at least a few hundred Bitcoin, right? Which is quite a lot of money.
Yeah, it is
like
a lot of
probably thousands. I mean, who knows? Like
That's like literally you have a gold mine in your garage.
yes,
Like,
literally.
like sitting
But
there.
every time I try it, like, because the thing is, Fred, you cannot get somebody else to look through it.
I mean, I've offered.
Right.
I've offered to look for the hard drive.
because you'd never be able to trust them. Like if I were hired to do that job and I found the untraceable anonymous Bitcoin wallet that we're looking for, I'd just go, "Oh, sorry, I didn't find it." Copy and paste. Like,
Charles-
you know what I mean? Like
Is it on there? Is there
it'll be
private
somewhere.
keys?
It'll be somewhere. I don't know where it is.
So, Charles, why don't you stop making stupid avocados,
Yeah.
shut down every other business, and just find the hard drive?
Well, actually, Alexa, one of our interns, offered to go, like to literally do the because it would be probably thousands. Because I started the process and then I realised this is probably thousands of hours of work with no necessary it'll be somewhere, but there are hard drives that have just failed now. So, you know,
That's like one of the greatest opportunities. Like that's like literally like if you have like 100 Bitcoin, what's that like? You're talking like
well nowadays
$15
it's
million.
probably only $15 million or something.
Or-
yeah, it's probably nothing.
no, 1.5 million.
1.5 million. Yeah, see,
US.
this is my plan was to wait until it goes back down to about $40, and that's when I'll start looking. That's when I'll find it.
So should you start a cryptocurrency?
Yes,
Um,
chase a coin.
I reckon Chase. It's got to be hilarious. Like it's got to be
Yeah.
for something like I'm not sure. I just like
Doge?
you guys can come up with that, but like yeah, like some maybe an avocado.
Why don't we call it Hitcoin? And it's for assassins.
Yes,
Start with Elon Musk.
that's
Like
how
save
you-
Twitter.
That's how you buy
Hitcoin.
blue ticks?
Yeah,
That's right.
Blue hits.
I don't know. All I know is somehow Fredo got stuck with the worst entrepreneur in the history of Australia. But thank you for giving us your time, and all the best with the laptops.
Thank you.
There you go. You can check out Fred's laptop scheme, good360 or finder.com.au/laptop-launchpad. Gears from Road, we're part of the Acast Creator Network. Catch you next time.